One vanilla iced latte bottle contains 48 grams of sugar, more than many candy bars. The bottle right next to it, labeled black coffee, contains 0 grams. Same shelf, same brand. This is grocery science. Here is exactly where that sugar comes from, bottle by bottle. Genuinely black, unsweetened cold brew coffee typically contains 0 grams of sugar. A black coffee bottle often lists only water and coffee as its full ingredients. Flavored latte bottles typically add sugar, dairy, or plant milk, and flavoring compounds. Health guidelines suggest limiting added sugar to roughly 25 to 36 grams daily. A single flavored latte bottle can exceed an entire day's recommended added sugar limit. That sugar amount is roughly comparable to 1.5 scoops of ice cream. Because it is labeled coffee, this sugar content is often overlooked by shoppers. Comparing several flavored latte brands directly often reveals meaningful sugar differences. Reading past the word coffee directly to the sugar line reveals the complete picture. Flavored latte bottles function nutritionally closer to a dessert drink than plain coffee. Dairy and plant milk-based lattes carry somewhat different calorie profiles, worth comparing directly. Choosing black versus flavored remains the single biggest sugar decision within bottled coffee.
Cold brew's extended steeping time affects its final caffeine concentration in specific ways.
A research study measured caffeine content across bottled cold brew and Americano-style coffee using laboratory analysis. That study found cold brew coffee averaging roughly 147 milligrams of caffeine per bottle. Bottled Americano-style coffee averaged somewhat less, around 110 milligrams per bottle. That same study also checked whether labeled caffeine amounts matched actual measured content. Decaffeinated cold brew products removed more than 95% of their original caffeine. Checking labeled caffeine content specifically matters for anyone managing personal caffeine sensitivity. General guidance suggests most healthy adults can consume up to around 400 milligrams daily. Calculating bottle count against that guideline helps put daily coffee consumption into perspective. Cold brew concentrate differs from ready-to-drink versions, requiring dilution before typical consumption. Drinking concentrate without dilution can mean consuming much higher caffeine than typically intended. Caffeine content and labeling accuracy remain worth checking for anyone drinking bottled coffee regularly. Carrageenan, or gellan gum, sometimes appear as stabilizers in plant milk-based coffee drinks. Regulatory agencies, including the FDA, currently classify these stabilizers as generally recognized as safe. Some newer functional coffee products add protein powder, marketed toward post-workout use. A premium roast claim can be entirely accurate while the bottle still carries significant sugar. Barista-style claims describe flavor and texture, not the beverage's actual sugar content. A natural label claim does not guarantee low sugar or the absence of corn syrup. Serving size print is often smaller than the flavor description printed above it. Flipping the bottle over remains the fastest way to verify any front label claim. Protein or functional claims can still describe a beverage with substantial added sugar elsewhere. Coffee shop-style branding strongly shapes how healthy a bottled drink appears, independent of sugar. Check added sugar, check caffeine content, and check whether it is a concentrate or ready to drink. Choosing black,
Unsweetened cold brew eliminates added sugar while retaining full caffeine content.
Adding your own milk and a small amount of sweetener keeps sugar under direct control. Diluting cold brew concentrate properly avoids unintentionally high caffeine consumption in one serving. Home-brewed cold brew is typically less expensive per serving than pre-bottle alternatives. A few extra seconds reading the label can meaningfully change what ends up in the cart. So that comparison was real. Two very different products, nearly the same sugar content. Black coffee versus flavored latte remains the single biggest decision inside this entire category. Sugar content and caffeine accuracy are the two details most worth checking before buying. That understanding gives you a real choice rather than just a marketed one. At Grocery Science, we examine food through evidence, not to generate fear. Next time, more grocery aisle staples examined the same way, one label at a time. Thank you for watching Grocery Science. Stay curious, stay informed.